Welcome back to the Scared Stiff Podcast. This is your host, Mike, and my co-host, Scott. How are you doing today, buddy?
How's it going?
What the fuck?
You like that shit?
Damn, bro, that one had signatures on it. You just dropped it on the hardwood floor, bro? What the fuck is
You
wrong
like that shit?
with you? What the
You
fuck
like
is wrong?
that shit?
To all the people who are listening to this instead of watching this, he just removed like 5 masks, like a goddamn, what's it called? The little teeny Russian dolls.
Yeah. I've been building this bad boy. When we went to Salem, me and my girlfriend both got matching masks. She got the NES one, which I'm glad she bought, because if she didn't, I would have bought it as well. Because I saw this one, and I saw the one I showed before. I think it was like part 6 or whatever, maybe part 5. And I'm like, I like that one a lot.
It's blood spattered.
But this is really cool. So
Yeah.
when I'm like, I'm going to buy this one, she goes, I think I might buy the blue one. I said, please. We live together. It's kind of like owning it, but a little different. Please
Yeah.
get it. So I got this bad boy on.
It's pretty sick.
Doesn't pertain to this film. This is based on the video game. This film is the last one of our Paramount 8 coverage for the Friday series. Part 8, Jason Goes to Manhattan.
Jason Takes Manhattan.
Jason Takes Manhattan. Yes, Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Whatever. Okay, so, the retrospective.
So it's certainly a movie.
Yeah,
With
everyone
a runtime.
hates it. Everybody fucking hates it.
It's the longest one.
Yeah.
And it kind of shows.
It feels the longest.
I don't know why this movie's an hour and 40 fucking minutes. I remember I flipped I'm like, oh, I could probably watch both of these back to back. No problem. 7 and 8. I flipped over the case for 8 and I saw 100 minutes and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Why, bro? Why? Why is this so long? Nothing fucking happens for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating. Things occur, but none of it matters.
Through with a similar format for these quick carnages. We've gone good things, bad things, characters, blah, blah, blah. A lot of characters in this movie. We're going to do the implementation of the kill count in this. Going to speed round it because a lot of fucking people die in this movie.
Yeah,
a lot of these deaths we're not even going to remember. And
I
we
literally
both
watched it today. I started it last night. I finished it today. Honestly, there's a good chunk of these kills you're going to remind me happened that I don't remember.
So, the best thing in this movie to me, to the top of my head that I think is done very well, the opening with Jason coming back.
Yeah, I really like it. I think it's the best recap in the series.
I think it's done very well.
Second best.
Second best. I would agree with the second best.
Part 2.
But I think it's done very well. I think the delivery of the actor is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the way it's told on a boat on Crystal Lake. I think that's pretty cool.
I couldn't get it out of my head, though. This is a little bit of a side note. We'll get through this really quickly. I couldn't get it out of my head that for some reason the fucking actor who played that guy reminded me a lot of Dacre Montgomery.
I knew it.
It reminded me a lot of
the same thing.
I was there watching, I'm like, bro, what the fuck is the Red Ranger doing here, man?
Yeah.
He time travel now? Yeah, I was sitting there looking at him like, why does he look so familiar? I'm like, oh, that's right, he's fucking Red Ranger, and also whatever fuck he is on Stranger Things, which he looks more like what his character looks like on Stranger Things. He does. So that's probably why it reminded me, because I've seen pictures of him. But yeah, I had to say that because I was just like, what the fuck, dude? It's really distracting.
Yeah. That's one of the best things. I think some of the deaths on the boat are really well done.
The guitar kill.
Everything in Manhattan, I don't mean Vancouver Hatton, I mean in Manhattan is really cool.
Oh, so like the couple of pickup shots and the Times Square sequence?
Yes. I think some of the Vancouver stuff is pretty cool.
It's fine. It's like, I remember it being like a lot more obvious, like it feels like a set, but a lot of it does feel like actual streets.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is definitely not New York City.
Yeah. I like the
you can
finale
tell, like
being
when he
in
fights
the
Julius. Yeah.
I think that's a very different, cool idea.
It's a cool idea. It's super ridiculous, but it's
fucking
cool.
ridiculous.
In execution, it's really weird, but yeah, it's definitely interesting because it's more of a confined space, and it's a maze, which makes the chase feel like something that would probably be more intimidating.
the bad stuff now. There's a lot to go over. Some of these characters are fucking so annoying.
They're so
annoying.
A lot
and
of them
we talk
are
about
boring.
cliche stereotyped characters in 7. These ones are fucking next level stereotypes.
Most of the characters in 8, I can't tell you their names, and I just watched the movie. It's not because I wasn't paying attention. They honestly just kind of show up on screen and say a couple lines and die.
2 names.
Julius.
3 names.
Rennie
and Sean.
Honestly, is that the love interest? I totally forgot his name. He's kind of okay.
I mean, obviously there's the uncle character, but I don't know the uncle's name.
McCullough. I only know that because Julius dropped that fucking hard ass line on him. School's out, McCullough.
Yeah.
Fire. Julius is the best character in the entire movie. He doesn't even have much character.
He's a really good fucking character.
I fucking love him, dude.
I think the actor really sells all of his scenes.
He is 100% the reason why that character is memorable. It has nothing to do with any of the writing.
Oh, 100%.
Also the boxing scene, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, the boxing scene is, I think it's long, very long.
Yeah, it could be trimmed down a little bit.
But the actor sells it with the punches. He does a great job selling the hits.
I will say, though, you could trim it down a little bit, but also at the same time, I do appreciate that it's longer and more drawn out to show the level of exhaustion that he's getting from trying to fight
I
this
will
man.
say, it does bug me a bit how he's not throwing jabs or like actual boxing.
Yeah.
But that's a very minuscule thing.
Yeah.
Like he's literally just throwing hooks. That's it. But
that's all he knows how to do.
I think the actor does a great job.
Except that's not true because he does show that he can do that in an earlier scene because they set up his boxing ability. You just kind of throw punches at that point.
I love his hands just being bloody though.
It was probably like one of the last days, and they're just like, we're running out of money. We don't have enough film to shoot. Yeah. Just fucking do it. How are you gonna do it? We don't even gonna choreograph this. Just fucking do it.
The head punch off is awesome. The shot following the head is great.
Bouncing down the fucking building into a trash can, fucking funny as hell. That's really funny.
There's clearly the problem with it being Crystal Lake in the beginning, and then ended up. You could say he just went to a lake. You could say he walked there. Like, maybe he woke up and he's like, kind of smell some teenagers a little bit west. But you
mean for getting on the boat? Or are you talking about the very beginning? I was going to say, because it says Camp Crystal Lake.
No, I mean, after, when he gets to the lake. Like, they just show him on the anchor. It could not be the lake, but it's meant to be. You know it's meant to be.
I'm just saying, like... That's definitely, you're giving them way too much credit.
I'm trying to make it make sense, yes.
But yeah, like it's very obvious that at the very beginning they're like, this is like, it looks like Crystal Lake. It looks perfectly fine at the beginning. I totally believe that. And then we get to the fucking cruise ship and you're looking at it, it's like, that's clearly like the mountains of Canada.
Yeah.
It looks like a fucking Great Lake. You know, this is not Crystal Lake anymore. I don't know where the fuck you are, but it's not Crystal Lake. And also, apparently, Crystal Lake connects to the ocean. Interesting.
Which is impossible for a lake.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just like this entire movie, like the whole reason this movie was sold is Manhattan. Now we got to figure out how to get Jason to Manhattan.
See, I don't understand it because they show other times that Jason will just follow fuckers all the time.
I kind of just wish like they did some kind of like a road trip movie instead of because they could have edited that and made it so much quicker. They could have spent more time. I don't even care if they spent more time in Vancouver rather than Manhattan. Just like the fact that they're on this boat for most of the movie is really boring. It's the same fucking halls stocked over and over again. And none of the characters matter, so it's not like we're sitting there watching at least good character interactions. It's just fucking inane bullshit.
Hear me out. I got an idea for the end of the video, but I'm gonna do it for this one. Instead of talking about all the shit in the movie, because everyone does that, watch the movie, shit on it all you want, it's easy. But what would you do to make it go to Manhattan?
I would have made it a because they're in Jersey. They're not that far. Well, Crystal Lake's in Jersey.
Well, the first camp is in Jersey.
Yeah, but Crystal, it's supposed to be Jersey. They're not that far from New York City.
Yeah.
they don't need to take a fucking boat ride. They can hop on a train. And theoretically, for runtime reasons, would be much shorter.
You guys have cool sequences on a train too.
Exactly. Imagine like a scene. Maybe they wouldn't do this because it may be a little bit too ridiculous. But imagine a scene of Jason on top of a train. That'd be pretty fucking cool. But I think that they could have done this in a train ride, and it would have been a much. There'd be more dynamic setups for kills, in my opinion, and maybe not as much space to hide kills. You'd probably have less kills, which you should. Because most of the kills on the boat are kind of just they're characters you don't know or care about. They're just kind of there because hey, all these seniors went on a boat trip to fucking New York City for graduation or something. So on a train you have less kills, but maybe more impactful kills. And then we'd have more time in New York because obviously it would be Vancouver, but that's fine. I don't care. They're not going to shoot in New York. It costs too much money. But I think that would be a better idea. I think the boat idea just gives them too much time to waste instead of really getting to what we want to see.
I have a great idea. I think that's great. If I was going to start it off, I want to start it in the same exact position with Crystal Lake, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of it just those two fucking around, those two are on their boat, but they're part of like a grad party.
Yeah.
So like, you know, you got to think of what's the end game. Why does he want to go to New York besides just following people?
Yeah.
Tommy is going to be the reason Jason's so fucked, right? Mm-hmm. Give him a vendetta. Go to New York because maybe Tommy is telling is writing a book and he's doing his first book signing in New York, and Jason hears about it on like a fucking radio when he wakes up and he fucking starts slaughtering these teenagers on fucking whatever. Yeah. And like say they still have this party, they're in, hey yeah, tomorrow we're gonna go to New York or whatever. Start it off, fucking kill some of these teenagers and they run away. He hears about New York and he tries to go there. He's like, I'm gonna fucking kill this kid for good this time. Follows through with some of the teenagers you set up in the beginning. They're fucking traumatized, but they don't know that he's following them because he hears about the party, they're going to New York or whatever. Follow these teenagers, meet a new group of people, meet new Tommies, pretty much. They go to New York, any way you want, train, great idea. Following through at fucking from caboose to caboose, just killing off people in different ways. Yeah. Obviously in the first car, you have your fucking heroes or whatever, your two love interests going from the back, working all the way from the front, and as the killing happening, whatever, have it take about an hour and a half or whatever. Get to New York, have the scenes that have whatever scenes with Tommy saying like, oh, is the Jason character real because that's some stupid shit they would do in a movie? Like, is this all a make-believe story? How much of it is fabricated? So have it end with these characters finally meeting Tommy Jarvis, and then he's in front of a big fucking podium or whatever, and it showcases Jason, and it's the big fucking reflection of like, oh shit, that motherfucker is real. The ending? I came up with this on the spot. I don't know the fucking ending. That's not my problem. That gets me from point A to point B.
I like all that. You have to drag back someone to play Tommy Jarvis again, but I like that idea just because, like, hey, Tommy Jarvis, man,
Tom Matthews.
He's the fucking Laurie Strode at this point of the franchise, and you should do more with him.
It builds new characters too to follow.
Like that's kind of the thing to me that's bewildering. It's like, I guess in their mind 6 wraps up his story.
Yeah.
In some ways, so they're just like, well, why would we bring Tommy back? Which I understand to a degree, but if you're not going to bring back your best character, create characters worth watching.
Yeah.
Maybe bring back Tina.
Yeah.
That'd be sick. Have him throw down with her again in Manhattan.
You could do with Tina as well. I just think with Tommy, it's easier because Jason has a very pinpoint vendetta.
Yeah, of course, and I think that would be a cool idea that they could have done.
That's only for if you have to take him to Manhattan. I'm not saying I'd pitch this movie like this is how we do it, boys.
I would still say like, because like unrealistic, they weren't gonna, obviously they didn't care enough to try to continue anything with Tommy Jarvis. But if they wanted to do Manhattan, they could have made this a much more enjoyable experience by having the journey to Manhattan be a lot shorter.
And just having a more interesting
more in Vancouver.
Yeah.
In Vancouver, Manhattan. And having your big centerpiece moment of Times Square, which the thing is, like, that's a scene that this entire movie is sold on. One scene, and it doesn't happen till the last 20 minutes of the fucking movie.
I also just think it doesn't help the fact that they're on a boat and it's not like a cruise ship.
Yeah,
this is like a fucking rundown boat, man.
Looks like inside when they're running around inside, like some of it looks like a cruise ship, but it's
the top. Like we've been on cruise ships. There's no fucking cruise ship that's gonna look like that shit.
It's considerably smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're playing fucking shuffleboard on them. They're shooting fucking clay pigeons. They allowed these teenagers to have fucking guns on this boat, bro. What the fuck? I was sitting there watching this and I'm just like, what fucking school would do this? Well, first off, what fucking school would fund these people to go on a fucking cruise to New York City? It must be nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, like we had archery equipment at my high school and they wouldn't fucking let us use that. Much less guns, for fuck's sake. But whatever. Who cares? It's the least of this movie's problems. But yeah, the biggest problem with this movie is the fact that just fucking nothing happens that's interesting for 45 minutes of a 100-minute long film.
We always say the biggest sin in a movie is being boring.
Yeah, and that's
boring as fuck sometimes.
Yeah, but there are sporadic moments where it gets interesting.
Yeah, that's why I look back on it more fondly when I think about it, because I'm like, well, there's also good stuff you guys aren't remembering. But
yeah,
if you think about it in a grand scheme, it should be more memorable. There should be more things.
I remember seeing so many people dunking on this movie, saying like, "This is easily one of the worst, the worst Friday the 13th movie." And it's like, after watching forward and seeing Part 9,
it's not even close.
It's not even close. Part 9 is one of the most unenjoyable films I've ever seen in my life. So I can't agree with that. There are characters in this, unlike that movie. There are characters in this that are actually fun to watch. 9 only has one character I like, and he makes no sense. So
we're gonna go through the kill count like usual.
Yep.
We're gonna speed round it because I probably won't remember it. I'm just gonna
there's so many kills, and so many of them are so unmemorable that I don't know how we're gonna talk about them.
I agree. First death, Jim Miller, the dude given the backstory.
It's pretty cool because he gets stabbed with a harpoon gun without the harpoon.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, it's fine. 7.5.
Okay.
That's good.
The next one, the girl, Susie, stabbed in the chest. Oof. I like it. I like the build up. I like the ending.
I like the chase.
Yeah, I like the chase to it. I think it's a good opening kill. I'll give it a 7.
As I say, I would go probably 7.
Yeah. J.J. Jarrett, bashed in the head.
Who?
I don't know. I don't know. I fucking know, dude.
I thought is that on the boat? Because I thought the first person who dies on the boat was the girl with the guitar. That kill's lit. I don't give a shit. That kill's cool.
Yeah.
I wish you saw the impact a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's cool. And later on in the movie, when they reveal her body, the effect for the head crush with the guitar looks really good. So
I didn't know they shared a last name. I'm like, wait, JJ. Okay, sure.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking remember. Honestly, when you said that name, I'm like, who the fuck?
The last name fucked it up. All right.
Yeah, no, I actually like that kill.
Rating.
I mean, she's a nothing character, but for this movie, 7.5.
Yeah. Next one, boxing guy, sauna, rock through chest. I fucking think that's pretty sick. You don't remember that?
I remember the sauna. I don't remember that kill. Holy shit!
It's pretty fucking cool. I think the effect is good.
Sounds cool. I'm totally blanking on that. Because I distinctly remember the sauna scene. I know because I remember watching someone die. I just don't remember
talking,
the
you think
actual
it's Julius
effect.
or whatever, and this fucking.
Yeah, because it's the guy that Julius whooped his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. I can't remember. I can't even rate that. I don't remember it.
Just give me an idea.
The idea of a fucking rock being pushed through someone's chest is pretty sick, so I'll probably say 7.
I'll give it an 8 because I think I remember a little bit, and it's like.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel almost like bad talking about this shit because I don't remember it, but it's like I can't help it, man.
Speed round. Tomorrow, the bitch girl, mirror shard.
I like that one.
Okay, what do you got?
I like that whole scene.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll say 8. I really like that scene.
I don't like the scene before it though.
She's a bitch. I really don't like her.
Yeah.
I really don't like that character, and I don't like the blackmailing stuff. But that kill is really like her getting like slammed into the mirror.
Yeah, you're right. 8 is like, fair with the mirror slam.
Yeah, it's really strong at that point. It's very, very vicious. So I'll give that one a high rating.
Number 6, Chief Engineer Jim Carlson, stabbed in the back with a harpoon. 6.
Fine, 6. I'll give it a 6. I straight up don't remember that at all.
Admiral Robertson, throat slit.
Oh, that sucked. That kill's terrible because they do like a slow motion to kind of like show you like the cut more, but no blood comes out till the very end of it, and then it cut instantly.
Yeah.
That kill sucks. Like a 4. I'll give it a 4. Fuck that scene. I remember watching that today. I'm just sitting there like I'm waiting for the blood to trickle.
I'd give it a 3 if I didn't like the guy enough for like the narrative behind him.
Yeah.
I think the narrative helps it a little bit, and I'd also give it a 4 for that reason.
Yeah.
Eva Watanabe. It's the girl that gets strangled at the fucking dance floor.
So the kill itself
is bad.
Is whatever.
It's funny as fuck though.
Yeah, the whole scene is hysterical because she's just running around in fucking circles. He's teleporting around like fucking Batman.
Yeah, and this is the worst for the teleportation.
It's so big. And also, again, like I brought it up before we started recording, why the fuck are the doors chained shut?
He teleported and chained them.
Apparently they got teleported. But the thing that does actually like a little, like, it's gonna give it like a half point, is when he fucking drops her.
So funny, dude. So funny.
he straight up fucking just,
Dude,
the only way it could have been,
you know, that hurt her.
Yeah, the only way it could have been worse is if he literally fucking slammed her down on the ground.
All right,
because he absolutely fucking drops her.
Give me your rating.
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah, the only
fucking 8, bro.
No, dude, the rest that sequence is so fucking bad.
It's so bad, but it's like so.
It's funny.
Don't get me like, funny because it's bad.
If I'm looking at it just from like a perspective, like, is the sequence well executed? It's terrible.
Biasly, I'd give it like an 7 because it's fucking hilarious.
Entertainment-wise, sure, I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah.
But like as an actually executed scene, it's fucking awful.
Okay, next step though. Ship crew member accidentally shot by Wayne.
I was laughing my fucking ass off when that happened.
Dude.
Because he has a fucking Jinkies my glasses moment before that. I'll say this though, one cool thing about that scene is he uses the focus of the camera as like an eyeglass. That's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Whatever character, but
give it to me.
5, whatever.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I laughed.
6.
It was funny, but it's just a
6 because I enjoy it a little bit.
It's a shotgun shot that barely has any blood. It's whatever.
I give it a 6 because the humor sends it a little over.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, but
Miles Wolf thrown onto a weather vane.
Again, like it's hard to rate that because it's so dumb. Because he just straight up fucking, he doesn't even climb the ladder. He straight up just teleports behind him and grabs him by the foot and throws him on the fucking weather vane. Like, he's not climbing that ladder, bro. Like, he makes not a single sound. And that motherfucker's beefy, man. He's gonna make some sounds when he's climbing that ladder. There's no way he's gonna be that silent. So he just straight up said,
he's dead. The man is dense, but he's hollow.
He rolled up and was like, I'm apparating up this ladder, bro. I'm a Death Eater.
Give me a number.
Fucking, I don't know. 5.5. It's a dumb kill.
4.
If we saw more of it, I'd probably give it more.
Number 12, Deckhand. Axe to the back.
3.
There you go, 3 out of 10. Oh my god, I hate the name they gave him. Number 13, Rapist Gangbanger number 1.
Doesn't he get a needle through him?
So yeah, stabbed through back with a syringe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
It's
Give it an 8 because I fucking hate him.
Yeah, I agree. That's pretty cool. That's one of the more inventive kills.
Number 14. Rapist Gangbanger number 2. Very different than the first one. Head smashed into a pipe. Loved that.
I love it. I was just looking at it and being like, that's how he died.
Yeah.
Okay. It was satisfying to watch, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I was just like, I watched it, and when he fell down, I'm like, is he dead? That's dead. That's dead. Okay, he's dead.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, whatever. That's fine.
Number 15. The Saving Grace. Julian. Head punched off.
10 out of 10. No, it's probably realistically like 8.59.
I'll give it an 8.
That is the best kill in the film.
Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't.
I love it. It is. I'm not gonna lie. A good chunk of the reason why I like that kill so much is because of the fucking bounce down the building into the trash can. That shit's funny.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
It's hysterical. Also, again, like you said before, like the fight itself, like the fight, it's not like it's a well like choreographed fight scene, but like the fact that they do actually have the attention to detail to show that he's fucking destroying his knuckles on that mask, and the sound design for it actually, it sounds like he's punching a mask.
Yeah, it just sometimes I feel like the fight drags on too much.
It's a little too long.
And then other times I'm like, no, I think it's necessary.
It's cool to show the exhaustion level.
It's depending on how I feel in the day, if I'm going to like it or not sometimes.
Yeah, so. I like that kill. I like Julian in general.
Yeah, Julius is great.
Julius.
Number 16, police officer, killed off screen. 0 out of 10, killed off screen.
Yeah, whatever. Also, funny, he's credited as Irish cop, despite the fact that he has very clearly a Canadian accent.
What are you about to do?
What are you about to do? Yeah, I can't remember what he said. I remember I was watching it today and he spoke and I'm like, oh, he's totally not hired from Vancouver. Like, he's totally not Canadian. What the fuck?
Number 17, the good teacher killed in the car explosion.
The fact that you said the good teacher and didn't give me a name says it all. Well, I don't know her name.
It's Colleen. I just wasn't going to give the name because you weren't going to remember it.
She's a nice character. I like her, so I'm sad that she dies, but I'm always down for a good car explosion, so it was okay. Yeah, you were like a 6 out of 10? 6.5. 6.5,
okay. I'll give it a 6.5. And then the boy, McCullough, drowned in the waste.
That shit had me screaming, dude. I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, this is what their idea of New York City is. It's just vats full of toxic waste just sitting there in the fucking alleyways, man. That shit was pretty. I'm not gonna lie, I really like that kill. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
It's fucking great.
It's right behind Julius's death for me because it's just like it's super duper like, it's really gross to think about. It's really gross,
dude. I totally forgot. I forgot fucking Wayne's death, where he gets electrocuted.
That's pretty cool.
I like Wayne as a character, actually. I think he's pretty good. I think they make him likable when his friend dies.
Yeah, he's a likable enough character.
And like, obviously, he gets shit on by the bitchy girl. So he's the only real endearing character in this movie. So, I like him.
Yeah, he's fine.
When he dies, I feel bad about it. I'm not like over here like they killed Wayne.
I feel a little bit bad about it too. But the kill itself, like him just being straight up on fire, laying on top of the fucking panel, is pretty cool shot.
I think it's kind of dumb how it just fucking falls on the panel.
Yeah,
I think the effect is cool.
It is quite ridiculous. 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7. Number 19, the dinner cook thrown into mirror.
It's more so like the stunt itself is really like he sold the hit pretty strongly.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. I don't think he's dead though.
Ooh, the last one, the station engineer in the sewer, wrench to the head. That's pretty good. Yeah,
it's silhouetted. Although I'll say the actual selling of the hit to the head looks pretty bad. Okay. The silhouette of it. Fair. But I do like the blood spatter on the wall. I like the concept of the kill. It's just I think that it's definitely you can tell like it's like, oh yeah, we're definitely not hitting you in the head.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fine though.
6.5.
6.
Okay. That's
Jason turned into a baby.
12 out of 10.
I was just again like that
subplot sucks.
That ending made me laugh so fucking hard. I was laughing so hard at the end of this movie, man.
The subplot is so dumb. It's so
ridiculous. And like I remember I was talking to you about it at work at one point. I'm like, oh, maybe he doesn't actually turn into a child. It's like he's actually an adult, but he's in his mind reduced to a child. But no, he's literally a child because you see the character react to it.
So my thing is, you see Rennie the entire movie visualizing him as a child.
Yeah.
So you don't see it from Sean's perspective. So I could picture him actually being dead, but Rennie sees him as a child as a way of coping with everything going on. Is that headcanon? Yes.
Yeah, but her visualization of him as a child is not the same as the one that he is at the end. Because he's not disfigured.
Well, maybe that's how she sees it. Maybe she thinks it's better if he gets like a happy ending like that instead of visualizing him being fucking dead.
Yeah, but because again, like,
she doesn't know what he looks like disfigured, anyways. This is her idea.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that like her vision of him was a disfigured kid. Yeah. And if she's creating this vision of him as a child in her head, you would think that she would maintain that, because there's nothing indicating that she would want him to have a happy ending. There's nothing indicating that.
No, that's fair.
So it's like I think that he's actually
fair.
I think he's
killed
actually
the only teacher she liked.
Yeah, I think he's actually supposed to be a child in that sequence.
He's absolutely supposed to be a child.
Or
I am just saying.
Or what you're saying is the case. The filmmakers and writers just did not know how to fucking do that.
Yeah, they didn't. They definitely didn't try to do that. So, I'm just saying, if you want to be.
I mean, you can connect those dots pretty easily and say that that's what it is, but they don't do a good job of explaining that because they don't know how to write. So, it would be much smarter if it was what you said, but it's not that, because they don't convey it that way. They definitely are like, hey, this magical toxic waste totally reduced him to being a child. Next movie, not a child anymore. So, shit happens. I guess. I guess it wore off.
Paramount 8 ends pretty much here.
Yeah.
9 is very different. It's in a different world, if you ask me.
It's just funny that the original franchise ends with him as a fucking child from toxic waste.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Radiation, baby.
Yeah, that's really funny. That's like, you think about how like the original franchises for these characters ended. Freddy, the franchise for Freddy's dead at the end of the franchise, so he's toast. At the end of the franchise for Halloween, if you want to talk about consistent franchise, it's 6. Because,
you consider that the end of the franchise? I consider Resurrection.
Because H2O completely reboots and just absolutely ignores a bunch of the sequels. So from that like original franchise, including 2.
Pipe beating.
Yeah, he's alive though.
Yeah, because Loomis screams.
Unless you're talking about the producer's cut where he's still alive, but he just gets away because of runes for some reason. But like they're all like they either live to fight again, or there's a definitive this motherfucker's dead. Maybe I'm wrong though. I haven't seen Freddy's Dead in a long time, and I don't want to watch it again ever. But like there's a definitive end, or he lives to fight again. Jason's just a fucking child.
Yep.
Weird. It's just really weird, because when they go to New Line, it kind of feels like a different franchise at that point.
It is. If you really ask me, it feels completely different.
Yeah, even though technically it's not, but it sure fucking feels like it. So that's kind of funny. That's where Paramount's like, yep, we're calling it quits. He's a baby.
This is where we're calling it quits too. This is the end of our series. This is the end of the Friday run through. We've done 1 through 8. The Paramount 8, that covers it. Fuck 9. We don't need to cover 10 or Jason X. Maybe another time. Freddy vs. Jason, I guarantee you some point we're going to cover.
Yes.
But now we're going to lead into the next segment, which is...
Do you want to give this a number?
Oh, yeah. 5 out of 10.
4.5. 4.5.
Yeah, 5 out of 10.
It's a bad fucking movie. It's a really bad movie.
Do you like this less than the original? You gave the original 5. Just gonna say that.
So 2 scores. Objectively, 4.5. Enjoyment factor, I guess a 5.5. I like this slightly more than the original.
We are the lone survivors of the shit on the original camp for this franchise.
I do not, for the life of me, after rewatching things, understand the adoration that movie has.
Yep, I agree.
At all.
If I gave it a 5 out of 10, this movie, there's some more fun to it than people remember, but there's also a lot of reasons to dislike it, realistically.
Again, the sin of being boring is worse than being bad. Being like outright bad.
Yeah. To me. I'm trying to think about it like perspective wise, because 9 is outright bad, but it's also boring.
Yeah, I mean that's unequivocally the worst movie in the franchise. So.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm thinking, I'm like, 9's not boring, is it? No, okay, it's boring. Yeah, no.
There's some stuff in 9 that I like,
yeah.
but it is overall the worst movie, bar none.
Yes.
So, I would say Jason X is a bad movie, but it's fucking funny.
Yes, it's fun.
So I'll take it. I'll take that over 9.
The next segment we're going to talk about is rounding up the Friday films. I want you to give me a list from favorite to least favorite.
Oh, fuck me. Just the Paramount
Actually,
8?
Let's go least favorite to favorite, just Paramount 8.
Just the Paramount 8.
Just Paramount 8.
Okay, so it's the original is my least favorite.
Yep.
8. I feel like I'll be really mean saying this, but 3.
You like 3 less than 5.
I had a good time. I had a really good time watching 5. I was kind of like, while I'm watching 3. Like I was like, this is okay, but I was not having a good time as much as I was during 5. Objectively, 5 is a worse movie. Don't get me wrong. Like 5 is a way worse movie, but I enjoyed my time watching 5 a lot more. So 3, then 5. 4, 7, 6, 2.
I would say
Fucking
1,
ay.
8, 5, 3, 4, 2, 7, 6.
Okay.
I think that's how my scoring would go.
See, so I'll specify though, the disparagement in quality between 8 and 3 is quite large. So technically yes, that's my third least favorite, but like it's the difference of like a 7 to a 4.5.
I think you gave 3 a 6.
I would that's probably reasonable. 6.5. That's reasonable for me. But like even so though, like that's a pretty decent gap.
Yeah.
It's 2 points. So
I would genuinely give it a higher score. I'd say I'd give it like a 7. Maybe 7.5, but you know.
Yeah, it just didn't connect to me. It just didn't connect with me this time while we were watching it. But again, like my opinion on 3 fluctuates.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I'll be like, oh no, this is actually more fun than I remember it being, and then I like this time I watched it, I'm like, this is not that great, but I also had like this part about it and this part about it. So
I have a serious question to ask, which means I definitely have to not look like a fucking moron all the time. So we're gonna go back to one bad boy here. This is the big question I want to ask you. We have the ongoing legal battle between Cunningham and Victor Miller about the Friday rights, and it's why we can't have a film. Mm-hmm. They resolve the rights. No problem. They figured it out. They both say, we both suck ass, but this is how it's considered, blah, blah, blah. We cut a deal. A Friday film is going to come out. What is your pitch for that film? Obviously, on the spot, don't try to think too hard, just...
I know what it would be, but in this era of revisiting old franchises, it feels really derivative, because I would love to see Tommy Jarvis back fighting Jason again, but it would kind of feel a lot like, hey, we're getting a new Scream movie where Neve Campbell's coming back to fight whoever the fuck the killer is this time. We have a Halloween franchise that's going right now where Laurie Strode's back again to fight Michael Myers. We have Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They're bringing Sally back. Exorcist is having at least one of the main characters from Exorcist come back to deal with 3 different Exorcist movies. So it would feel like it would be quite derivative of that. So I don't know if I really want to commit to that idea, but I know that they could do it, and Tom Matthews would still be able-bodied to do it if they wanted to do it with Tom Matthews, or if they want to use Feldman. if Feldman would be open. If Feldman would be open to it.
Yeah.
If they wanted to use Feldman, but I think the problem is that Tom Matthews is probably a more iconic version of the character at this point, and no offense to Feldman, but he's more alluring to me as a fan, at least, than seeing Feldman back in the role. But that would be my original pitch. The thing that I've wanted to do for a while was I've wanted them to do a sequel with Tommy Jarvis. Conversely, though, separately from that, if I wanted to pitch a second idea that's not quite as derivative, I guess, I would still like a sequel to the remake.
Okay.
If for no other reason than I want to see what's his name? Derek Mears back as Jason.
Yeah.
Even if fuck it, I mean they don't have to sequelize the remake to do that. They could just have him be it. But if anything, I will say this: no matter what movie they do, I really want Derek Mears back as Jason because I fucking love him as Jason.
Fair.
So I'll say that's probably the most concrete thing. Even if they do the Tommy Jarvis thing, I would like it if Derek Mears was Jason because he's terrifying. What'd you do?
I'd have it 2 parts.
Also, I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you because we talked about this before. I would actively like to see a female direct it.
Yeah,
because I would like to see what that movie looks like.
I would do it in 2 parts. I'd have it structured. I would have it a 2-hour film. I would have it long. I know it's kind of tough with horror being 2 hours. This is a revitalization of the franchise. It would have to bring it back. Yeah. I would have it. The first half of it, or the first maybe third of it, is gonna be a camp slasher. Teenagers, probably a smarter bunch of teenagers, obviously. Not counselors, but kids. And, it starts off, Jason's... I don't know how you bring him back, because I wanted to tie into the original Paramount 8. So, I don't know how you have to fucking make that work, but you bring him back, and it kills him off. He goes around on a killing rampage. Kids survive, but they escape. They don't kill Jason. They just run away and escape. And they can feel this overlying presence, and they know he's going to go and do more, so they have to find a way to deal with it. So they go around and they try to look for people that have found Jason. I know it's kind of sounding like Fear Street, don't get me wrong. I was
about to say the same thing.
But it's going to get into it, but it's the easiest way that I want it to bring back not just Tommy Jarvis, but I want to see finalizations of certain characters. I want them to go to an institute and they find Chris. She's gone fucking crazy. She can't deal with it.
I don't want to ruin this for you, but this actually sounds a lot like the sequel trilogy.
For?
Where you have these new characters that are being brought into this world, and the way that they're being brought in and taking the audience on their journey is by revisiting all these characters from the past franchise to kind of see where they're at in life and also use them to figure out the big overarching storyline of the movie.
I just wanted to finish off characters.
But not trash.
Yeah, I wanted to finish off characters, and it's going to be one self-contained film. It's going to finish off, we're going to see what happens to Chris. She's gone crazy.
Can't do shit with Alice, she's dead.
In the inkling of hearing Jason again kind of almost tunes her senses back on, being like, well, there's still more to do, but she obviously can't get out of the asylum or whatever. That finishes off her character, right?
Well, wouldn't it be kind of cool if they pulled a T2 and they busted her out?
No, I think it would make the film worse.
It would be dumb,
it'd be
but
cool.
I think it'd be really funny.
It'd be cool, but it'd be tough. You go over, you find, they look up Ginny's name. It's the only character who they can't find because she's smart enough to be off the grid and not be foreseeable. And okay, we can't find her. We knew that there's possibly another survivor with Paul. He can't be found either. Cool. They look up Tina. Tina has dealt with the trauma. She's gone with it. She lives with Nick, whatever. They can't help if it really comes down to it. They have someone to talk to about, how did you deal with it? I have psychic powers. Well, that's not really going to help us, thank you, though.
Yeah.
And, with her dealing with her trauma, her powers, Fanute, they're gone. It gives her a reason not to come back into play.
Yeah, it's like Clark Kent on Smallville with the I don't want to compare it to
exactly. So she's finalized. She can't come back. She has her happy ending. That's cool. the only character they go back to that's really willing and helpful is Tommy. They finally meet up with Tommy. He says, listen, I've dealt with this. I'm prepared. It showcases he's married to whatever from part 6. Megan. That's cool. And it introduces maybe Tommy has a son who's around the same age as the kids. Be kind of funny if he was a bit of an asshole and very the opposite of Tommy. And he's like the bad boy of the group. I think that dynamic would be pretty funny. Like, yeah, I don't get it. My dad's a fucking dork, and I don't like him that because it's gonna be Feldman. Oh, man. I want Feldman to come back for it.
Oh, I was gonna say because if you brought Tommy back, it'd be so worth it to see him dust off the fucking cool ass jacket he wears in that movie, man.
I think it'd be funny if Feldman does play off like this.
And dust off the jacket.
Yeah, it'd be tough with it being Megan or whatever, but
yeah, that's the thing.
But you don't have to show her as much. Just like, yeah, whatever. It's my wife. She's at work. Whatever. The son being like the badass, very different than the father would be cool. Obviously have moments where Corey Feldman looks like a fucking badass and just beats in this Jason. But you also have to talk in about why this Jason is a fucking monster. He gives background, but instead of re-showing old scenes, you have new shot scenes with Derek Mayers playing Jason, reliving the shit that Jason's done with new angles. It's just very much played. You have the same locations done, like the same camps. That'd be so fucking inventive in such a good way to bring back old history, but do it new. Have all that, have it a big discussion, and have the reason they couldn't find Ginny is because Ginny's been like helping with like creating like all this background knowledge, getting more on Jason, finding out ways to take care of it, and then they just all come together, and that's how it goes on from there. I don't know how to fucking end it. You know, this is on the spot again, and this is just fucking my idea, but
it's still a pretty cool idea though. Although I would say that a studio would be very hesitant to do it just based off the fact that the idea would be wrapping it up with a bow, and they're like, well, we want more movies. But
I think you could do more of it. I would say you can continue it in a Halloween way, probably kill off Tommy. Probably have Tommy's son go on. If you want to, maybe you can continue. You introduce the other protagonists. You could bring them back for other movies after introducing them again to the audience. I think
that's really the kind of crazy thing about the Friday franchise is that people don't come back.
And that's why I love to have finalizations for these characters, but like, you know,
other than Tommy,
Chris is in an asylum, right? So
most likely
that's how that character would end, and maybe she'd feel defeated that she can't help. Say Tommy dies in this movie, have Chris come back in the next one if you wanted to. Or maybe the spark of talking about Jason gives Tina back her powers, have her come back in the next one. You can have sequels for all these individual characters, but have it tied into the same franchise. It does so much for building a future for these films.
Yeah. It could be cool.
I think
it sounds like a pretty cool idea.
It's such a fan fucking fiction type of way of doing it.
Yeah, but really, if you think about it, it's not really that unrealistic considering the landscape that we're in right now, where we have a fucking Halloween movie coming out this year where we have, not only do we have Laurie Strode back, but we have fucking Tommy Doyle recasted.
That's why
I want to take... too.
It'd be smart because all these films are good. Though.
I think the nurse is back too.
You should take implements from these films that are good and put it together. Looking for a hero, like in Fear Street, bring that over. Having a protagonist that was popular in the first film and having their descendants like Halloween, that's a good idea. Bring it over. Setting up and bringing characters from the past and having them in from like the sequel trilogy, that's a good idea, but have it lay into building a future.
The nice thing about that too, though, is that unlike Halloween, they don't reboot their fucking continuity every 5 goddamn seconds and bring back old characters to you know, try to tell a different story with them, like they have with Laurie Strode for the fucking second time now. You know.
Most importantly, we reference nothing past the Paramount 8.
Well, we don't reference Part 8.
You could get past that. I feel like it's disrespectful. If I was making the movie, I would have Rennie.
I'd be worried that you would have to explain things.
You would.
And you would halt the film to explain something in a movie that was ineffective at explaining itself. I think that's a bad thing to do.
I agree. I would try to have to find a way to make 8 work, though, is my thing. I wouldn't want to be disrespectful and say it's just parts 1 through 7.
I guess they can sit there and if they talked to Rennie, they would be like, she would just say, yeah, you know, I had a vision when the toxic waste hit him, and I just assumed he turned into a kid.
She was on heroin.
True.
Say she's on
whatever,
fucking heroin.
Or whatever the fuck they gave her.
Say fucking, I was still drugged up from the movie, and Sean told me that he washed away with the chemicals. We really never found his body.
Yeah, maybe. I guess
that's easy enough.
I guess you could do that. That's if Rennie's in the movie, though. You know,
I would have Rennie go through with it.
I feel like you can't put. I feel like you can't put too many of these characters in that first movie, though, because I feel. Like
I would agree. I would stick to Tina, Chris, and Tommy.
Because Chris would be a split second.
Even cameo. Not even having Ginny in there if you don't want to. I think it'd be cool.
Referencing her is important.
A lot of the information they get came from Ginny. Like, she provided the information somehow. Maybe, like, she kept catalogs of books because she became a psychologist.
Maybe they do a post-credit scene. They tease her showing up as like fucking Green Ranger and Power Ranger.
She's like the oracle of this fucking universe. I just think it'd be cool if they got the information from her and they reference her because she's a smart character. But the characters I would bring back are easily Tina, Chris, and
you can't do this without Tommy.
And Tommy. I think you can easily set up some characters to come back in a sequel.
I think it'd be
so many returning characters, it'd be smart.
I think it'd be wild if instead you had Ginny, Chris, Tina, and you saved Tommy for the sequel.
I think they could
because you can end a trilogy or say like a trilogy or a duology with Tommy dying but taking Jason with him.
You could.
But you can't do that in the first movie because the studio's gonna be like, "Hey, more money, please."
Yeah.
So if you saved that,
I would have.
Tease Tommy throughout the movie.
Technically, the new Halloween movies haven't come out. I'm sure.
Yeah, we don't know what happens with that.
I'm sure what I would want to do is how it's gonna end for them.
I'm assuming Laurie dies and kills.
I would have Jason kill Tommy and have Tommy's son get revenge.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
sure that's how it's gonna play out in the Halloween movies.
I'm gonna assume in Halloween. I think Laurie doesn't make it out of kills. So.
Yeah. So
I think Laurie doesn't make it out of kills, and what's her name? Allison is the one that's gonna take down Michael.
Yeah. So
that's probably gonna piss off a lot of fans, but
I think it narratively makes sense. That's how I would
do
it.
She's old, bro.
If that's the easy way to do it, maybe. I don't know, do it a little differently, have everyone work together. I don't know. This is my pitch. I don't give a fuck. I would do it like that.
Yeah.
If you really want to make it fucking crazy, you can bring them all back by the end of it, have Tommy die in the last one, and have all these fucking women just fucking gang up and jump on him.
It's just like fucking Forever Red and Power Rangers.
Literally. and like, you have Tina, like, all of them are just like fucking throwing shit at him or just beating him with hammers, and she's like, yeah, well, like, I can fucking create fucking this crazy shit to just attack him. It's like, oh, you beat him with the shovel? That's great. I just psychically fucking picked up a giant tree and threw it at him or some shit.
Yeah, I do think that you would run the danger of it becoming a little bit too ridiculous.
Yeah. But I love the idea of throwing a giant tree and, like, you have just, like, Tommy with, like, a shovel, like, that's not fair. Like,
she just lifts up a fucking van and hits him with it.
Yeah, like everyone here is like fucking Spider-Man, and she's just one of the X-Men. They're just like, you can't. That's not cool, dude. Like, you're showboating.
Yeah. or like it's like he's right about to kill Tommy.
Yeah.
And Tina just fucking hurls a boulder at him and fucking just absolutely splatters him. And Tommy's like, you couldn't have done that 5 seconds ago. It's not like an Avengers movie, actually. Don't do that.
I would definitely have cameos in the movie of definitely Kane Hodder as a character that isn't Jason.
Yeah.
But maybe if you could have the other living Jasons too, that'd be kind of
I was gonna say, it'd be kind of cool to have them kind of, you know, just show up, even if it's little teeny bit parts. You know, like, oh, one of them's pumping gas or something, or one of them's, you know, a cop.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it'd be cool if you had Kane Hodder play like Jason's dad, but he doesn't
plays Elias.
But he doesn't actually weigh into the story. He just plays like a dad that ran away, and that was it. That's the entire character. It doesn't fucking impact the movie.
Yeah. I don't think he'd be old enough though.
It's a flashback scene.
Oh.
Yeah, he wouldn't do it in present time.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he'd definitely be way too young.
Yeah, no, I would just have him do like the dad.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd have. You might. It'd be cool if you had Alice play Mrs. Voorhees, because like the actress played.
Mrs. Voorhees. I find that stuff very difficult to swallow though in franchises if you're maintaining continuity. Because like one of the things.
Put her in makeup. I just mean like have the actress in there.
Like what's her name? PJ Souls is in Halloween 2018. Linda from the first movie.
Yeah.
But all she does is she voices the teacher in Alice's classroom, so you can't tell it's her.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. That would be one of the things I would see like Adrienne King doing, is like something off screen.
Yeah.
Auditory. Maybe she's reading something.
She should be in it. My thing
or maybe
is like,
she's a radio. Maybe she's a radio host in the car or something.
Like my thing is like, who do you have play Betsy Palmer's character, and it isn't Betsy Palmer?
That's the thing, though. It's like you also have to ask the question: do we need to show Pamela in this movie?
Maybe not show Pamela, but I'd like to have a scene where Kane Hodder is the dad.
Yeah.
Maybe not have anything impactful, just.
Maybe they Tarkin her.
Yeah, I don't know.
They wouldn't have the fucking money to do that.
I wouldn't do that, anyways. I would just not show her face in the film.
Yeah. I mean, they've recasted Betsy before, though. I mean, obviously.
Yeah,
Betsy,
but I don't like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the actress who plays her in Freddy vs. Jason, but like, I'm saying it's not impossible.
If you recast her, it has to be something that matters. Like, it has to be someone that has some weight to the franchise, in my eyes. Like, if you had to be Adrienne King, I think it'd be fine. Maybe she looks different enough than she did in the first Friday. Style her hair different.
You would have to do a lot of alteration to her, in my opinion.
I would agree. But
fans will see her and say, "Oh, look, it's Adrienne King."
Yeah, maybe.
So I feel like people are gonna look at it and be like, why does Pamela suddenly look like Alice?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the kind of the problem with longer. If this was a remake,
yeah,
a
reboot, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like I'm saying, like if you put her in a reboot and made her Pamela,
it's
different
easier.
story, completely
Way
different
easier.
story. Yeah. But now
yeah, I just wouldn't show her. I wouldn't show her face then.
Yeah. Have her stand in. Yeah, that'd be fine.
I think it'd be cool to have a visualization of scenes where Jason goes through, and like I said, you go through past scenes of Jason killing people with mirrors as Jason or whatever, but it's shown from Jason's eyes through the mask, and like they show him from a kid or whatever through his eyes. It's how you see Kane Hodder as his dad, just leaving, whatever, no explanation, no story, and just I think that'd be cool. It'd be a great way to see. Like, not new footage in a way of these past movies, but shot now.
Yeah.
Fresh, new looks. It'd be cool. Most of these, like, you could easily do.
Yeah.
So, that's how I would do it.
I dig it.
I'm trying not to plan out a series, because it'd be like, I said one movie. It's kind of tough for me to be like, oh yeah, you do one. You're like, I would do this. How about you? Well, I have a saga written out. Like,
I think realistically though, if your idea was taken as like say a treatment, they would take that and say, okay, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna make it into 3 movies. We're gonna split these plot points up so that it's not all in one movie.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I would justifiably want it in 2. At least, like, maybe have
they'd overextend it with 3. It'd be a Hobbit trilogy situation.
Like, I would at least do the first one, maybe like a camp slasher, keep it fresh, have the ideas where they learn about Camp Crystal Lake, maybe in the first one, and they do shit like that. Second one, they go through and find out the fucking returning people or whatever that get mentioned in the first film in like news clippings or some shit. Third one,
big showdown.
Dies, big showdown. Obviously not the most story-driven one, but the finale. So
yeah, it's the Battle of the 5 Armies, but not shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be cool. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but if they were going to do it, it'd be great.
Well, it still remains to be seen if we're ever going to get a fucking another Friday for 13th period. I don't care. I know Corey Feldman said that they solved their shit. I doubt it.
Hey, dude, this is all
hypothetical. I know. It's just
I don't fucking think within the next 5 years they'll solve it.
Lucky if it's with it. Sean Cunningham will be fucking dead by the time we get another Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
They'll both be dead. I don't think they're ever going to stop fighting over this.
I don't either. I think that's a good place to end it. I think that was a fun way to finish it off. Stop talking about Part 8 and talk about
something enjoyable.
How we would contribute, what we would do next.
Yeah. This has been fun discussing all the Friday the 13th. I know we created a lot more work for ourselves by deciding that we were going to do these quick carnages.
I'm really excited to not do this more.
Yeah, I'm excited for us to not do this anymore.
Yeah. But I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. I had a good time. I had a good time revisiting some of these.
I'm excited. I was excited to ask this question too. I
mean,
planned it out.
Straight up, I think the only one that actually made me angry that we watched was the first one. I mean, like eight's annoying because it's really dull at times, but like 5 actually frustrated me because I'm just like, I see so many people being like, the first one's like actually like it's a really good murder mystery. It's like it's really fucking not.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad actually. So that was the most frustrating for me. It was just like opening my eyes to a movie that I thought I enjoyed and realizing this is actually really bad. So yeah, that was fun to experience and understand now that I can change my ranking for the franchise. It's actually been really cool to look and see like 4 drops so far.
Yeah.
And 2 skyrocketed back up and 7 jumped up.
I think the only thing I'm disappointed in is that we can't cover it after us. Like, I had so much fun talking about this franchise and talking about these films. It's like, this has been great, but it's over now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we would be able to do is cover the remaining films, and one of them.
It's over now.
At least one of those I don't ever want to talk about again. So yeah,
it's been a great retrospective. I've had a lot of fun, and
yeah, I'm completely content though to move on to something different.
I am too.
And that different thing is going to be Nightbreed by Clive Barker. And this is going to be a first-time watch for the both of us.
We're definitely going to watch the director's cut.
Yeah.
If I have time, I might try to watch the theatrical, but I'm not certain.
I might not, just based off the fact that I have to watch it with ads, and that shit gives me an aneurysm.
Yeah, it might be tough to fit it in, but we're definitely going to cover it. We both haven't seen it. It'll be a fresh watch, and it's definitely going to be interesting, and more importantly, definitely a change of pace.
It'll be fun because the next month and continuing on for the rest of the year so far, things will be a bit more varied.
Yes.
You know, we're not doing an entire franchise. You know, we practically started off the whole podcast on a review series of the different monsters, and then we took a break from that to do birthday shit, and then
Friday.
Now we're doing Friday. We did Friday. We did 8 Friday movies. So now it's nice to be able to just say, hey, you know, this week we're going to do Nightbreed, and then this week we're going to do something completely different from Nightbreed, and then we're going to do something completely different from that. So it's going to be nice to have more varied content again. You know, as much as fun as I had talking about Friday the 13th, I love watching these movies. Even the ones I don't like, I like at least being able to talk about them. And so I like doing the series, but it's going to be cool to be able to, especially because I think two of the movies coming up that we have, because we have most of the month, if not all of it, planned out.
Yeah.
2 of them are first-time watches for both of us.
Yes.
And that's really exciting for me. So I'm really excited about that.
And if we have it the way I think we're going to go, it's probably going to be 1 first-time watch for me and 1 first-time watch for you, for the other 2.
Yeah.
But we're not set in stone on that, but for sure, next one, Nightbreed. And I'm very excited.
Hyped. Been wanting to watch that for a while.
So thanks for tuning in to the retrospective for Friday. I know it's going to be a bit of a bummer people don't watch this because it's been a lot of fun for at least this one. I know if I saw Friday Part 8, I probably wouldn't be like, oh, yes, dude, let's get into it. But this is a lot of fun to talk about. The retrospective has been great. I've learned a lot of new things about some films. I've had a lot of fun talking about some films. And the ideas we've just flourished from these movies has been crazy to think about. So... yeah. I hope you had fun listening. I hope you have fun continuing to listen. And we'll catch you in the next one with Nightbreed. I'll see you later.